I know. Everybody's seen it. I have watched it the night it came out. It's been well over a week. But it's just been like festering inside of me. Like some like old Chinese food that's rotting in the back of your refrigerator that you forgot about, okay? And you know what? I was just gonna leave it there. But you know the straw that broke the camel's back today? I don't know if that's the saying, but if that's the saying, you know what that straw is? I watched Avatar Fire and Ash today. A movie I knew was gonna be good. And it was good. It felt like I was eating fresh, good Chinese food. That when I came home to get a sniff, a whiff of the reek in my refrigerator, I just knew it was time I had to throw it away. And you guys, you're my trash can. What I mean is, the abyss of the ether is my trash can, because hopefully nobody's watching this. It's just something I gotta get off my chest. Sorry for that extremely long, terrible parable I just gave, okay? I have watched so many movie reviews from Five Nights at Freddy's 2, okay? Because as soon as the movie was over, I just had to know what other people were thinking. My brother and I had the same idea. We got on the YouTube together and we watched these analysis of the movie, and you know what they said? Nah, not too great, but you know, a pretty good intro to horror movies, and I'm not really into the FNAF series, so it probably is a lot better for those who are into the FNAF series. It's for the FNAF fans. You know, if you're not a FNAF fan, you're not gonna like it. I watched another video by a YouTuber that I like, who said like almost the exact same thing, and it just kind of really bothered me, because I think they're just afraid maybe of the fandom of FNAF, which is totally understandable, because I feel like quite a few of us are like completely unhinged, but it grinds my gears a little bit that these movie reviewers are not actually reviewing the movie correctly, in my opinion, because as a FNAF fan, it was a little stinky. Guys, I said it. I'm sorry. I was excited about it just like you. I was hopeful just like all of you. And I kind of enjoyed some of the references in the movie just like all of you did. And I know you guys did, because I heard you guys all gasping around me in the movie theater, okay? And I kind of did too. I was excited too. But it was still stinky. I am mad. I'm not mad, okay? I am anti-tickled, okay? Whatever the opposite of tickled is, that's me. I'm a little pinched about this right now, because the idea that such a lore-rich universe, like infinite possibilities, was just turned into whatever this was. And I know this is a really long intro tangent. I'm about to get into the reasons why the movie was bad or not great, but I don't know. I just feel like I'm feeling ranty right now. I gotta dial it back in. Okay, I'm gonna list, I don't know, like 5 things that I thought really bothered me in the movie, that I think that were just completely an oversight or not done correctly, and I'm just gonna tell you why I think the movie's bad. Number 1, and this might make a couple people mad, but the animatronics. I'm not saying they didn't look cool. Alright? I'm not saying they looked bad. Alright, I saw Chica. We all saw Chica. I'm not saying they look bad. I'm just saying that there is no way that those guys moved fast enough to kill anybody. Oh my gosh. I'm sure you guys have already seen the movie, and if you haven't, spoilers, I guess. They are so freaking slow. They were like -2 miles per hour, to the point where I'm like, they are teleporting. Every scene in this movie that these new animatronics are in, the toy animatronics are in, it is like comical how slow they go, and how slow the people running away have to be, how often they have to trip for these guys to even come close. It's insane. There is specifically this one scene in the movie that really bothered me, because I'm telling you guys, they unironically, you guys probably already know, and that might appear a little over dramatic, but it's not. It's literally not. They are so slow. There is a scene in the movie where they're like attacking parents. Ridiculous. We're gonna get into that later. But they're attacking parents. Freddy is like at the end of the driveway, and like the dad is inside the garage of his house, okay? This guy, not paying attention, somehow through his peripheral never sees Freddy in the driveway. Whatever. You know, that doesn't matter. But he starts closing the garage door. Freddy's at the other end of the driveway, and I'm sitting there watching the movie like, what's the point of this scene? There's literally no way Freddy can get to this garage door fast enough to get inside. It would have taken him, I feel like a solid minute to walk across that driveway. And the closing of the garage door was like 10 seconds. And Freddy just kind of grabs, it doesn't show him running up to the garage door, it just shows him grabbing it at the end. And that happens so often, they're just teleporting. Like, they are literally teleporting all throughout the movie because there's just no way they move that fast. They have superpowers. And I know they use real animatronics, and that makes sense. That's really, really cool. But it's a little unrealistic to have the animatronics that are going around murdering people walk like they're on their third hip replacement. Doesn't make much sense. They look like they need walkers. And the way they be walking, I feel like I could walk over and push him over, and bro's gonna be waddling on his back like a turtle. These guys just look so easily, like, escapable. It's silly. It does tickle me whenever a person gets murdered, because there's, like, no way that the person got murdered by this incredibly slow machine. Hood's coming off, because I'm getting kind of hot. It is literally like 30 degrees in this room, and I'm getting hot. That shows you how warm this freaking pajama set is. I have this on for you right now, okay? This is my business attire. This is for you. I think one of the major complaints I have is the motive of Cassidy. Is that her name? I think it's Cassidy. I'm gonna sound like I'm not a fan of FNAF throughout this video, but I promise that I have been watching like FNAF content since like MatPat released his first video about it being based off like the Chuck E. Cheese murders or whatever. I'm sitting here and I'm wondering what Cassidy is killing for. Like what's Cassidy's game plan? She's mad. I get it. That makes complete sense. And I'm gonna be frank. I'm gonna be honest. All right. I missed like the first scene. I showed up late to the movie theater. I went with my family. We decided to go like very last minute, and it was like a 45-minute drive. So we missed almost the entire first scene, which I heard like explains a lot of the motive. But when I actually heard the explanation of what the scene was, I don't want to watch the movie again. It still didn't make much sense. She was like, oh, I'm gonna kill the parents. And I was like, oh, you're gonna like kill the parents that were there when you got murdered. That makes sense. I mean, yikes. But you know, that makes sense. You're a child. You're angry. And then I realized it was just to kill all parents. What? What are you talking about? Like, in the entire world, all parents? Have you seen the MPH of your robots? What are you talking about, Cassidy? Also, I think what actually made me a little like upset about the motive was like during one of like the first kills that Cassidy's little robots try to go on, she just kills like this young mother of like a young girl while the young girl is in the house, and you're like, oh, you know, she's angry, she's not really thinking through it. But then the young girl gets in front of the mother being like, please no, don't do it, I thought we were friends. And then the animatronic was acting like she was about to kill the little girl with her mother. And what's the point? What's the point? I understand that in this world, like, it may not make complete logical sense. You know, again, a child angry, but all parents? What are you talking about, Cassidy? Get real. And when I heard about the first scene of the movie, it felt so incredibly unrealistic that, like, every parent was like, shut up. No child's being kidnapped. Shut up, get away from me. The adults are talking. It's just such an unrealistic scenario. I understand that it had to be that, like, drastic to make such a drastic thing for Cassidy to want to do. But that's never happening. I don't know what multiverse universe this is, but no adult does that. And even if an adult does do that, there's no way it's gonna be like 3 in a row that do that. There's just, especially like a woman hears somebody, there's just no way, okay? Moms, that's all I gotta say. Dude, I'm so tired. It's like freaking 2 a.m. I'm doing this at 2 a.m. That's how much I need to get this off my chest. Because it's 2 a.m. and I can't think straight, and I know this video is about to be all over the place and like hard to edit. But that's okay. That's okay because it's just me and you here. That's okay because nobody's gonna watch this. Just wanted to rant. And that's okay. Also, the dialogue, and I think this was said by a few people, the dialogue was a little dookie. I know I keep saying poo-poo, dookie, doo-doo, water. I understand it, like, oh, you're being a little redundant, Jade, but like, oh my gosh. If there ain't a better word than dookie, doo-doo, poopy. If there ain't a better word, brother, because I am baffled. And I feel like I already said baffled too. I'm out. I'm looking through my lexicon and there's nothing else I have to describe this. I'm a little stupid, okay? I just don't understand. I'm watching this movie and the characters feel not real, specifically Mike. What the heck was Mike even doing in this movie? Do you hate everybody or do you like really care about everybody? I genuinely was confused about how he felt about the characters in this movie, in this film. It was so weird. And there was specifically one scene where Mike shows where Mike shows Vanessa. It's 2 a.m., brother. I don't know what's going on. It shows Jessica? Hold on. Quick Google search. FNAF 2 guess. Vanessa. I don't know where the heck Jessica came from. There is a scene where Mike shows Vanessa like this flyer saying like FNAF is murder or something crazy like that. He's like, look at this, it's crazy. They said FNAF is murder, and I called, and it's crazy. I need to talk to you about this, Vanessa. And Vanessa is like, hey man, like I totally want to hear what you have to say, but I genuinely think I'm worried about your sister. She's like, I'm genuinely worried about your sister. She said something about what's going on with the animatronics or the FNAF place or whatever. Something about the pizzeria, Papa John's. And Mike snaps at Vanessa and goes, Vanessa, you crazy buffoon. I don't want to hear a single thing about FNAF right now. I don't want to hear a single thing about the animatronics. That's done. That's over. I'm trying to move on, you idiot. I think I gasped because if you don't remember, because your brain rotted, 0.2 seconds ago, Mike literally started the conversation trying to talk to Vanessa about the FNAF pizzeria. And I do not understand. What the heck? And that was Mike throughout the whole movie. Throughout the entire movie. And he was just kind of around. He was just kind of there. Which is fine. Sometimes characters just need to be there. Wait. Hold on. No. Let's take a couple steps back. That whole scene where like the ghost hunter kids, they were like kids. The ghost hunter teenagers were like breaking into places in the recording, and they record like the FNAF thing, was so utterly ridiculous. Because why was Michael there? Like, actually, why was Michael there? Because, like, the first thing that they said was, like, oh, we're doing another place. I hope we don't break into it this time. And she's like, don't worry, we got permission this time to come in here. So, one, that means that they do break into places enough that they were kind of expecting it. And she was saying it like it was a cute little surprise that they're not breaking into a place for once. Why not just break in? Okay. And two, you might be thinking, Oh, well, Jade, maybe they just hadn't heard of the place and Michael brought it up to them. Maybe Michael contacted them and showed them like a new cool place they've never heard of that they can go to for their freaking show. But if you watch the movie, the main female girl who does all the commentary for this, whatever this is, talks about it like she's excited to be there because she's a fan of the stories. Okay, so you're telling me that you break into places and you already knew about it and you wanted to go. Why is Michael there? And not only that, is that not the most suspicious thing ever? Because no, he's not a security guard at this place that's been closed for 30 years. That doesn't make any sense. Why is Michael there, dude? Why is Michael there? It doesn't make any sense. He literally had no reason to be in that scene. He literally does nothing in that scene too. Like, I'm so confused. He was literally just there. He just looked around and be like, yeah, go ahead by yourself. I'm just gonna stick here with me and this girl by ourselves. Yeah, you guys can go explore. It's gonna be a great time. You should go do that. It's just gonna be me and this girl here by ourselves. And that's not even like he didn't really act like that. He didn't really do that, but it was just weird. And also, another problem I have with this scene is the fact that they split up. Like, the cameraman, like, the crew split up with the person who, like, does commentary and, like, talks throughout the video, and that they follow around in their show. Like, they kind of need each other for this to actually be a show and work together. Like the comment that I said before, talking about how, like, slow the animatronics move. I want to say that, I might have said this earlier, but it's like you have to want to die. To die in this movie, because the animatronics are so incapable of just, like, killing a person easily. I don't know how much I have to censor out, but it doesn't matter. And it's very obvious that this is true. It feels like every character just wants to not live anymore. It seems like every character not just gives up, but, like, they just give themselves up, and I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm perplexed. Because in this beginning scene, this kid, I think it was the cameraman, falls into a river, walking by himself, by the way, not with the rest of his crew, not to record the rest of his crew. He's just walking around by himself, meandering off into this place that feels very dangerous and very haunted with this strange man just wandering around. Anyways, he falls into a river of stagnant water. Icky, gross, right? Icky, gross. If you were to fall into any form of water that you weren't expecting to fall in, it's scary, you get spoofed, and then you quickly get out. Because nobody wants to be in dark, mucky water that's been stagnant for 30 years. This kid falls into this river and just, I guess I'm just stuck in this water, I guess. I guess I'll just sit here. I guess I'll just take a bath. I'm already here, I guess I'll just take a bath. The water's brown, I'm sure that's just like a chocolate bath bomb or something. Yeah, he just sits there for no reason, and I'm very confused about it. And then, when eventually he hears, like, noises and stuff, still stays in the river. He sees an animatronic, a little one, coming his way, stays in the river. The animatronic jumps into the water with him. And does he get out of the river? Does he just stay in the river? No, he doesn't just stay in the river. He takes his freaking flashlight camera and looks up. Like he didn't just see the animatronic go into the water as he's still in the water. When I tell you, that pissed me off a little bit. I was a little pissed. I was a little pissy. There was that little tinkle in my britches. I was just a little pissy about it. Because I said, in no world would you even stay in the water long enough for that scene to even happen. And not only that, if somebody gets in the water, you get out of the water. I just don't know. I don't know. Not many characters die, and that's cool. It's supposed to be a kids movie, which honestly, I understand why they would try to make it a kids movie, because it is Five Nights at Freddy's. I still think maybe they have a kid audience, right? We're like young enough. Why am I saying we're young enough? It is now 3 a.m. Let's see, what else did I hate? The teacher getting killed. He wanted it. I think he was down bad for freaking Chica, because he had cheeks out underneath the table. Didn't even go underneath the table all the way. Can we talk about that? The fact that Chica took so long to even find him? She's that visually impaired? Bro just sat there, cheeks out, underneath the table, waiting for her to take him? Didn't even get underneath all the way. He wanted her. He wanted it. He asked for it. He was down bad for Chica, and we all kind of are. And no shade to him. No hate to him. He did kind of suck. He was kind of a bad teacher, but we all get it. Right, guys? I feel like a lot of people harp on the Fast Fest thing, that it was like kind of irrelevant, but not gonna lie, I kind of liked it, and I'm not saying that because it's 3 a.m. and I'm really tired. I'm saying that because I've always been one who likes a little bit of world building, and the idea that FNAF was such a popular store that they had a festival about it, I think is kind of cool, like kind of contextualizing this scenario a little bit. But other stuff, I was like, what the heck? How is freaking what's her face? I'm forgetting names. 1 second. Y'all are gonna be mad at me when I tell you the name. Abby. How the heck did Abby get everywhere so quickly? Again, she had to have teleported. There's no way every location was that close via bike. But I digress. Another thing that bothered me is the music box. Jay, why'd the music box bother you? It's because they used a different music box that magically worked. Why did the first one work in the first place? No. That's not it. That makes sense to me. Kind of. That makes sense to me. A little bit. What bothered me is that Vanessa knew that the music box always had to be on. And you know that she knew that because she said that freaking Cassidy was awake because somebody broke the music box. So when Mike turns on the music box at the end of the movie and immediately throws it to the ground when Cassidy goes back to sleep, why did Vanessa not just Foxy jump him? Maybe Foxy jump the music box and turn it back on. Because she knew it had to be on. And not only did she know, I feel like Mike maybe should have left it on anyways. Like, first of all, she said that to Mike, I'm pretty sure, that the music box was turned off and that's why she woke up, insinuating that music box had to stay on. I feel like even if she didn't say that to me, I still would not turn the music box off. It's a demon. I'm making sure the demon does not wake up. It grinds my little animatronic gears. That he turned it off and Vanessa did nothing about it and left it like that. What's that about? I don't get it. Oh, another thing I wanted to say. I know I'm going to be shooting that video, but another thing I wanted to say was that there were references that I feel like were just thrown in there that I think should have just been kept as like little visual references, if that makes sense. Because there's a couple times that I got excited to see a reference. Oh, that's the thing from the game. That's so cool. And then they used it, and I was like, oh, why did they do that? Like the mask in the room. I saw it, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And he was like, surely not. And that should have been it. Because I was like, haha, yeah, surely, yeah, because that's stupid. But then it worked. And I'm not mad that it worked, okay? Because I thought that was a little goofy that it did. What I'm mad about is, again, how incapable these animatronics are at killing people. Because how these people just want it so bad. They just want their intestines ripped out of their body so freaking bad. Because when Mike used the freaking mask, there's a part of that scene where Freddy literally just stands there like this. And just sits there and stares at him and doesn't kill him and doesn't do anything. Like he's patiently waiting for Mike to put the mask on. And Mike's just like... wasn't working. To me, that was so stupid. Because why would... Oh, I came with the mic. Because why wouldn't he just, like, put them... The strap was crazy that he had to, like, double-hand it. And maybe it was a little heavy. But I think if I were him and I'm going to get murdered by giant robots, I'm just holding the mask up with one hand while I'm typing. Like, why couldn't he do this? Like, actually, why couldn't he do this? And the animatronics are moving so slow. Like, they stopped. Like, wait, give him a second. This guy's a little slow. Can't keep him just yet. It's not fair. Have you seen him have a conversation with that Vanessa girl? That's a little slow. We gotta give him some time. Anyways, those are just like a couple of things that kind of just bothered me about the movie. I'm only saying a few because I'm just so incredibly tired and I lost all brain function. So the thing is that I am a FNAF fan. And I think that's why I feel a little less afraid to say it, because I feel like as a community, we all need to band together. I heard some people say about this movie in videos was that we're just excited that it exists, and I am excited. I think my biggest problem with the fact that this movie is mid or even slightly below mid is the fact that it had so much potential with the amount of source material it had to work on, and it was like that. When I watched the first movie, I thought, oh, that was entertaining. Yeah, they did a decent job, and it was such a smash hit afterwards that I was like, man, they're totally gonna like amp up their game, you know, just ramp it up a little bit, a few watts. I was just hoping. My room just made a sound. It's haunted. I was just hoping that with all the source material that they were just going to do more and do better than what they did. And it just had so much potential, and I felt like that they totally squandered on it. And I'm not even saying it's anybody's fault, even the director's fault or Scott Cawthon's fault. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I'm sure that everybody did a pretty decent job. It wasn't like terrible quality. There are just so many things about it. I just feel like as a community, as much as we're excited that the movie exists, I feel like we should all be able to see doo-doo and call it doo-doo. I'm not saying the whole movie was bad. I'm just saying enough of the movie was bad that we should all say we have higher standards. Because I was so utterly disappointed. I'm really sorry. I just was. And I didn't even have that high of expectations. That's the thing. And I still left the movie theater disappointed. Like, not even whelmed. Underwhelmed. And I feel like we could just do better. I know that they could have done better. It just felt a little rushed. It felt a little sloppy. And I feel like that we should be expecting more. This sounds a little ridiculous. Now that I'm saying it out loud. It is a freaking video game. But why am I grabbing my torches and pitchforks for a Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie? But I don't know. We can do better, guys. And I feel like we all need to come together and say that. Because I just feel like I don't want Hollywood to be just throwing us stuff, you know, that we'll eat up. Because it's nostalgic and we're a fan of it. That's all nice and cool. But I'm tired of this. I'm tired of it, okay? And I just want some good. I want some chocolate. I don't want to pick up a pellet and be like, oh, this looks really good. Put it in my mouth and, ugh. It's turd. I want chocolate. Give me chocolate. Is it too much to ask? Too much to ask for some chocolate? Anyways, Avatar Fire and Ash is really good. And you guys should all see it. Alright, Jesus loves you, so do I. And I need to sleep. I'm ready for bed bye-bye. I'm ready for bed bye-bye. I just needed to get this off my chest, to be honest. I needed somebody to hear it, even if it's just like a couple of bots on the internet. Hello, bots.